Video Files 20. Walking away. On the first occasion I walked away, no one at the time could fully understand why I chose to run away, and how I could cope and be happy building up my life on my own, walking away from the problems in my life and the issues that lay deep within me, apart from me and those who had done or were doing the same. On the second occasion, I chose to walk away. I chose to face people who had ever hurt me head on, and decided that running away was not an option this time around, else history would repeat itself again. I had to break the cycle. When I did this, I brought everything and everyone to justice, and dealt with everyone swiftly and promptly, letting nothing stand in my way. I had to be forceful and strong and use my powerful voice, but it worked. I got what I was aiming to get, justice. It never replaced what I lost, the years that were stolen, but at least I eventually got my freedom to speak my mind. You cannot lead a life of unhappiness despite the circumstances that have risen beyond your control. I feel that that's because these people could never have the audacity or strength to do it themselves. They did not feel as though they wanted to or needed to. Or they hadn't got the strength to break away. Above all, I did what was right for me, and I should never have been judged, punished severely for this. The unfair treatment was never justified, complete ignorance. It was the right choice for me, and that should have been respected. It made me into the determined individual I am today. Life teaches us to be human. Walking away from all that I considered to be wrong, unlawful and unjust was the greatest decision I ever made. It set me free. The guilt trip. What went wrong? Even though you are having the time of your life, sooner or later, if you have made the choice to break away from these constraints, you begin to feel guilty and wrongful for doing this. And you may feel lost because you are out there on your own. This is perfectly natural, because what you have walked away from was ingrained into you. These were the people who you looked up to, shared your life with. These were the people who were closest to you, who had once protected you, loved you, and then scorned you. You look back, and there is no one behind you. They are all carrying on in their lives, completely oblivious to what you are doing, or where you are going. A reason for why have you been made to feel hurt and guilty is because you were different from the people closest to you, and you thought as if what you were doing was wrong for you in that particular time in your life. It wasn't. Please take this advice. Do not let their opinions rule you for much longer. Cut yourself off emotionally. Break those bonds and have no emotional attachment. This doesn't mean that you can't see them. Just be detached and free from their hold on you and their controlling opinions. It will only cause you frustration. You have to face forward, keep moving on, away from those who disrespected you, shunned you, dismissed your ideas, then used them themselves. They will never win. They will never be you. This is the hardest part. Take a glance back to check that everything and everyone is okay, then move on again. Nothing will be drastic or change in their lives. That will be life-changing. They will all be fine. It is you who has to move forward. They will be there for you when you make it. They will show you all that you have to give, and will finally understand that they are just not ready yet. And for your own sake, to savour your energy, you must keep moving on and stop labouring the point. They will believe when the time is right. Get yourself free of these people. Make a breakthrough. Push on through. Make them accept you. Turn their heads. Change will then happen. The seen is the proof and will be believed, even though you would like people you know to believe it in their hearts, without having to witness it all with their own eyes. It will be unbelievable. They made you feel that you were doing wrong, that was all. You always felt as if there was another life waiting for you that gave you more than a house, partner and a family. The path that you were once on was being followed by everyone around you, was taking, and because this was all you were experiencing, you believed that this was the life you wanted to lead to, although you always knew that you were made to feel different, and this urged you forward to achieve and gain from an experience of life and a different perspective. Your results are life-changing. Research is a powerful tool. People don't want you to disclose what you found out. The fairy tale story. I suppose you could compare my story to the story of the ugly duckling, who always felt as though no one accepted him because he looked and acted differently from the rest of his siblings. He hardly ever felt welcomed and a part of the lives his family and friends were leading, and never felt as if he fitted in totally, almost like an outsider. It is true, one can change, can grow, can prosper and rise. One day that ugly duckling woke up and found himself surrounded by beautiful swans, wishing he were like them. When he looked down into the river water, he saw his own reflection. He took a second glance. He had never wanted to look at himself in that way before, because he had always felt rejected by the other ducklings. This day he felt different, and when he looked down, he saw the most beautiful creature he had ever seen. He did look like them. He did have the right to belong. There he was, an elegant, long, slender-necked swan, surrounded by all the other swans. He was different, but now he knew why. It was because he was of a different breed, and as he stared, he began to accept people around him as they looked at him in all his splendour. Nothing fazed him now. He could look ahead to the future safe in the knowing that he was now accepted, and he could also accept that everyone was different. They may share different views and opinions, but he knew that he could hold his head up high and put the past behind him, accepting that everyone else had their opinions, be them different to his. The evidence of your research and experience is all in this book. It has to be shared. A new adventure with no regrets. When you make that life-changing decision and you find happiness again, you realise just how much you were missing out on. But that doesn't mean that you should regret any part of the life that you had before. There were always reasons why that life was presented to you, so that you could learn valuable lessons in order for you to proceed into your next life. You will never return to being the martyr. Remember, you made the decisions, whether they were considered by people to be right or wrong at the time, and they're all decisions you needed to make to help you realise just who you actually are and what you wanted out of life, and were made to stop the drowning feeling that you were experiencing. It is all part of life, and the events that you experience that make you see life differently, from lots of perspectives. It will get better. You are doing well and on the right track. This makes you realise that life is precious and you should make the most of it and do the things you want to do, when, where and how you want to do it. You meant to leave to be there for those who were later on your path. Be free. I realise now that there is a life that complements exactly what I want, and I consider myself very lucky to have realised this so soon in my life, so that I can do something about it. I believe there is a life to be led by everyone. You just have to give yourself permission to begin to lead it. You need to go out there, live that life, and grasp it with both hands. There are so many people who I have talked to who have realised that they are not entirely happy with their life and the decisions that they have made along the way. But they have only realised this and made the decision to change much later on in life, when they have had children and have been married for several years. It's never too late. Change direction, change your fate, create your destiny. It takes a much stronger person to make that life-changing decision later on in life, and for which I give much credit for them doing it. They have obviously realised that enough is enough, and they have given up on the thought that they and those around them can ever change whilst they are in their present situation. They are stuck. It just proves that realizations, twists and turns in your life can happen at any time, and makes you realise even more that whatever decision you make in life, you really must be sure that it is the right thing for you to do at the time, and take as much time as you need to decide whether this is what you want for the rest of your life or whether it's just for the moment to give yourself a break. There are sometimes no second chances. You have to be firm, sure, certain with your decision. You have to act upon impulse and act quickly. Consider carefully all in the equation and move on with or without them, else you will waste valuable seconds of your life. They will either choose to come with you or stay behind. We are all on different life paths, shared or separate. The decision. Once you have made the decision to leave, for whatever reasons, the chances are there may not be a door to get back. You have to be sure that the decision you make is the right one for you, and grasp every chance you get with a firm hold. If you have reached a point where you are not happy, you need to discover the reasons why you are in this state for yourself, and in time the answers will be found and you will discover why you ran away. And those reasons will unfold like a blanket, making you realise some very interesting realisations, and will make you determined to make things better and happen for you. You are now on the right path and things will get easier. For all those reasons, you deserve success. You have made it on your own and have triumphed against the odds over all that was wrong. You need to stop trudging along the treadmill and running yourself into the ground for a while. Give yourself time and space alone to think and analyse every aspect of your present life in order to make changes. If they are needed, then you can safely make those changes you so much want to make, without resulting in you having to make them on your own because of your inability to express how you feel with the people who mean the most to you. It is time to reap what you have sown. All this hard work will pay off. Sometimes you can use those people who are closest to you, those who will stand by you and support you to help you make those changes in order for you to change yourself and your life for the better, without ever having to endure pain alongside pleasure. Where there's pain, there's gain. Ask for their help and guidance if you choose. In some cases, though, you have to go it alone, because their advice will be of no help to you like how it was with me. You have to go against their advice, for it opposes everything that your heart is desiring. Do it for yourself. Live your own life. Life isn't right without the hard times. If you decide to go along the same path as me, and you haven't confided in anyone who will help to guide you and offer their support, it still won't be easy at times. There will be people on your path that will be there to guide you. I learnt the hard way. But there was no one there for me with 100% backing. I had to go it alone, but I am here now. I can support you. The separation. I walked out the door, kept on walking, and when I turned back, there was no way back. I had to keep on moving onwards. You will find that you will question everything that is going on around you, and you will become angry and hurt. But what you must remember is that these are just different states of mind that you are going through, and only time will allow you to make adjustments to these different states. Time will pass, hearts will heal, emotions will calm. The mind is a very powerful tool, and the ability to control it will eventually come in time, when you have discovered your inner self and become the person who you want to be. It will be when you realise that if people want to be with you, then they will fight for you. And if they don't fight, then you have to be strong enough to say, well, that wasn't meant to be. They obviously really don't believe in what you want to give, and they don't deserve you. Be positive, confident. The mind is such a powerful tool, and the stronger you become, the cleverer your mind gets, enabling you to have control and ensure equilibrium and harmony between all people. Time is very fluid. Remember, it will go at your pace. Above all, time waits for no one. You will instinctively know when the right time to shine is. Hold on in there, harness each phase you go through, and never look back. Become the person from within. Be the one to bring us back to reality. Bring us home. The deliverance. Full to the brim again, my head is pounding. Must sleep now and rest my head. Soon to be all what was once a wish. Close those eyes, girl. Rest your weary head. So the path you chose to follow is now going to take you further away from the life you used to lead. You have to leave it all behind. Act as if you no longer care. Keep moving on, much further than you ever did before. Ignore his wiles, his taunts. He is meaning to hurt you. He knows how all this affects you. Off to pastures new, away from everyone who ever knew you. He is embarrassed and doesn't know how to handle the situation in any other way. Leave him alone to lead his life and you lead yours. Things will eventually turn out the way you want. It just takes time, and you can't afford to wait any longer. You must act now. He knows he upsets you. Pretend he doesn't. Rise above it all and move on. Focus all of your energies on your family, your life. Don't let his treatment affect you, otherwise it will destroy you, which you know is wrong. And walk away. Hold your head up high, turn your back on all of it, and keep marching on. Rise above it all. Prioritise what needs to be done. You will succeed. You will overcome. Victory. Go into work mode from now on. You are rested. Try not to worry about your financial situation. It is improving steadily and will correct itself in time. All projects need to be completed now. This is your ending. Don't give up. It's never too late. You do need to keep focused. Aim high. You will achieve success. There is money and plenty of it. See past your current situation and enter abundance. You are rested. You will succeed. You have come this far. Be proud of that. You have got what it takes. Draw out your skills and experience. Endeavour to dominate and lead. You can only learn by other people's comments. Rise above, persevere, and never give up. All will be revealed at precisely the right moments. You cannot force any issue. You have to do this to move, to shed some light on this dark satanic world. Mindless individuals have taken over. Radical. The importance of communication. If you can be honest about how you are feeling to the person you share your life with, and they can help to change the situation that's causing you distress, then that's working together. It takes two to make things work in a relationship. Times will be hard, but you will realise that in time that things will eventually get back to normal. You will accept the fact that your past life, which has somehow become everyone else's topic of conversation, will be forgotten. All the hurt that you have suffered will slowly dwindle away, and everything will slowly begin to go your way again. The length of time it takes will be up to you, and the strength, fight and perseverance you have will be supported by whenever you feel ready to tell your side of the story, when you decide to speak your powerful voice by publishing this book. The purpose of these audio files is to get the message across in an audible way so people can hear your story. And then if they choose, they can go onto your website, deloragreen.co.uk, and they can go onto Amazon by searching for your book, Living in a Bubble by Delora Green, and they can purchase the book for themselves. To use it as a dip in, dip out, to make sure that they are helping themselves to better themselves and their lives. We need to work together for the sake of mankind, for the benefit of all those who care. Institutionalised racism has reared its ugly head. Bullying, discrimination, this goes for everyone. This is going on all over the place. In institutions, hierarchies, people thinking bad of others, people making up stories, people thinking that they are better than others, This is going on all over the world. We need to equalise. The fighting back, it will depend upon the strength you've got to overcome and the time it takes for people to realise. The closer you get, the harder the path will become. It will be like treading through thick mud, trudging through the wilderness alone. At the moment, you probably feel as though everyone is thinking bad of you. And really, they're there for you. But that is because people don't really know what to say and when to say it. And they have their own lives to lead as well, which can be sometimes forgotten because you have so much spare time due to you being on your own. I don't have any spare time now because every moment is filled with completing this book or proofreading other people's writing or working on my shop or being with my son, nursing my dog because he's poorly at the moment. Every ounce of energy is being spent on trying to conclude matters. So this was written way in the past when I did have a little bit more spare time, when I did have the time to think of what other people might have been thinking. But now it's good that I don't have the time to think, and I'm very watchful of my emotions. You will also experience feelings of jealousy and anger because people aren't asking you any questions. They are just assuming. And because you haven't got the time at the moment to give answers or to explain your reasons, you feel betrayed, unloved and uncared for. This was way in the past. I don't feel any of this now. I never felt any form of jealousy, and rarely did I experience anger, just frustration at the whole situation. I felt betrayed, unloved and cared for at times, but you've got to believe the total opposite because you are having to remain strong and trying to sort yourself and your life out. Accept that the way you feel is because of others' opinions and treatment of you. It is abuse of power. Your life will sort itself out. At this point in time, you have to be selfish. Your happiness is paramount. You have to protect your son, your life, your world, and your family.